Hello, Immortal News family, and welcome back to our channel. In the last 24 hours, we have received the somber news of the passing of extraordinary talents, and today's episode is dedicated to honoring their memory. Before we start, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or the legacies of these remarkable individuals have touched your life, please consider giving this video a thumbs up as a sign of respect and remembrance. Thank you. Number 6. There was a quiet strength to David Briggs, a kind of grace that came through every note he played. Whether seated behind a grand piano or deep in the heart of a recording studio, his music didn't just accompany legends, it helped shape them. He passed away peacefully at 82, leaving behind a 5-decade legacy that changed the sound of American music. A masterful keyboardist and producer, David's fingerprints are on some of the most iconic recordings in pop, rock, and country history. From performing alongside Elvis Presley to working with George Harrison and Dolly Parton, his talent crossed every boundary. Briggs began early. By 14, he was already recording professionally. But it wasn't just his skill that set him apart. It was his ear, his intuition, and his deep understanding of how to elevate a song. He wasn't interested in the spotlight. Instead, he focused on lifting others, helping them find their voice through music. Co-founding Quadraphonic Studios and later opening House of David in Nashville, he created spaces that inspired creativity and innovation. Inside those walls, albums like Neil Young's Harvest and Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville came to life. He was one of the renowned Nashville Cats, a group of elite studio musicians whose work helped define what the world knows as the Nashville sound. For this and more, he was honored in both the Alabama Music Hall of Fame and the Musicians Hall of Fame. When news of his passing broke, tributes poured in. Kyle Young of the Country Music Hall of Fame said it best. David Briggs could play keyboards in any style. For more than 4 decades, his deft touch graced countless country, R&B, pop, and rock recordings. David passed away following a brief illness. Though he's no longer with us, his influence will echo every time one of those timeless tracks plays. His music quietly changed the world, and the world will never forget. Tributes to David Briggs. Number 5. Then laugh, then think again. Karen Durbin had a gift for seeing the world not just clearly, but with fire and wit. Her voice challenged the powerful, celebrated culture and lifted up those who had been left out. At 80, Karen passed away peacefully after a brief illness, leaving behind a legacy rooted in truth, courage, and compassion. Raised in Ohio and educated at Bryn Mawr, Karen's life was shaped early by a passion for literature and social justice. That passion led her to the pages of The New Yorker, The Village Voice, and beyond, where she helped define modern arts criticism and feminist thought across more than 4 decades. Though never one to seek the spotlight, her editorial vision drew others toward it. At The Village Voice, as senior arts editor and later editor-in-chief, she transformed coverage of film, theater, and politics, making room for voices that had long gone unheard. At Elle, she became the magazine's first film critic, once again paving the way for women in media. Karen's pen never flinched. She addressed hard issues with clarity and style, earning both respect and admiration across media and activist communities. As a proud member of the New York Film Critics Circle and a frequent speaker at Columbia University, Karen didn't just critique. She taught, empowered, and inspired. Her legacy isn't tied only to where she worked, but how she worked. Fearlessly, thoughtfully, unapologetically. Former colleagues remember her as a sharp editor, a generous friend, and a bold feminist who gave space to truth-telling, no matter the cost. She gave us permission to be uncompromising, one colleague said, to ask the hard questions and do it with humanity. Karen's archive was placed at Barnard College, a lasting testament to her role in shaping feminist and cultural dialogue in America. She is survived by family, close friends, and the many she mentored. For those who knew her, and those who never met her but felt her impact, her voice remains, on the page, in our hearts, and in the work she helped make possible. Tributes to Karen Durbin. Number 4. George danced like he was telling a story only his heart could understand. These words, shared by a fellow performer, capture the magic of George Lee, a trailblazer who forever changed the shape of American dance. George Lee passed away at the age of 89, leaving behind a legacy that stretched far beyond the spotlight. A quiet revolutionary, he was the first Asian male dancer to perform with the New York City Ballet. At a time when stages were rarely shared with faces like his, George stepped forward with grace, strength, and unshakable courage. He first took the world by storm in the 1954 production of George Balanchine's The Nutcracker, where his athleticism and presence stood out among seasoned stars. Then came Broadway. In the original cast of Flower Drum Song, he didn't just dance, he made history. Born in Shanghai and raised during a time of uncertainty, George fled with his mother to the Philippines and eventually made his way to the United States. There he studied at the School of American Ballet on a full scholarship, guided by Andrei Aglevsky, one of the era's greatest dancers. But George's story didn't stop at the curtain call. After retiring from dance, he redefined resilience once again, this time at the blackjack tables of Las Vegas, where he worked as a dealer for nearly 4 decades. Colleagues remember his charm and discipline, traits that followed him from the stage to the casino floor. His remarkable journey was recently honored in the acclaimed documentary 10 Times Better, released in 2024. The film cast a fresh light on George's transformative contributions, both seen and unseen. Despite passing after a brief illness, George's influence lives on. Young dancers today walk a little taller because he once dared to do so. He broke stereotypes without bitterness and pursued excellence without limits. Fellow artist and friend Mei-Ling Tsai noted, "George didn't just open doors, he opened minds. He showed us who we could become." His legacy belongs not only to dance halls and theaters, but to anyone who ever dreamed of doing what hadn't been done before. Tributes to George Lee, dancer. Number 3. It's as if the land itself is singing through him. A fellow musician once said of Steinor Anderson. And indeed, when Steinor performed, the ancient voice of Iceland seemed to echo through time. Steinor Anderson, revered master of the traditional Icelandic rímur, passed away peacefully at age 70. He died after a period of illness, surrounded by family and loved ones. His voice was both timeless and deeply grounded. As a lifelong chanter, Steinor brought ancient poetry to modern ears, reviving a form that once risked fading from memory. With every syllable, he honored his ancestors and inspired future generations. Known to many through his powerful collaborations, Steinor worked alongside the band Sigur Rós on their Rímur EP. His spellbinding voice also appeared in the documentary Heima, introducing global audiences to Rímur for the first time. His work with artists like Hilmar Örn Hilmarsson and rapper Erpur Eyvindarsson further blended tradition with modern expression, proving that ancient art still has something urgent to say. But Steinor was never defined by stage lights or spotlights. He captained his own fishing boat, Idun, living and working by the sea. His hands knew both verse and vessel. This balance between artistry and labor made him all the more beloved, authentic, humble, endlessly generous. As chairman of the Idun Poetic Society, Steinor became a mentor and guardian of Iceland's storytelling soul. He helped young artists find their voice. He gave new life to the past. Each year at the folk music festival in Siglufjordur, his performances were unforgettable moments of shared history and feeling. Colleagues remember his warmth, his steady guidance, and the powerful humility at the heart of his artistry. Steinor wasn't just preserving tradition, said one musician. He was shaping its future. He leaves behind a family who mourns him, and a nation grateful for his life. Though words alone may struggle to capture him, his voice lives on, in recordings, in memory, and in the chants of those who follow. Tributes to Steinor Anderson. Number 2, she gave the world laughter and light, not only with her voice, but with her heart. These words, shared by a fellow performer, capture the spirit of Waltraud Hos. Known and loved across generations, Waltraud brought warmth and joy to every stage and screen she graced. Her charm was unmistakable, her presence unforgettable. Audiences first fell in love with her as Mariandel in the beloved film Der Hofrat Geiger. She returned to that role in Mariandel and Mariandel's Heimkehr, creating one of the most iconic characters in post-war German-language cinema. But it was more than a single role. With over 60 films to her name, from heartfelt musicals like Im Weißen Rössel to popular comedies alongside her husband, Erwin Strahl, Waltraud became a cornerstone of Austrian entertainment. Her talent carried beyond cinema. She captivated theatergoers in Vienna, lit up TV screens, and later took to writing, even penning fairy tale books and her own autobiography. What set her apart was not only her voice or her talent, but her spirit. She was known for kindness behind the scenes, encouragement to young performers, and her devotion to the craft for nearly 8 decades. Honored with the Gold Medal of the City of Vienna and the Austrian Medal for Science and the Arts, Waltraud never lost her humility. She remained gracious, grounded, and radiant, much like the roles that made her beloved. She also lived through profound moments of history. From growing up at Schloss Schönbrunn to building a career in post-war Austria, her life reflected strength, grace, and perseverance. Waltraud Hos passed away peacefully at 97. She leaves behind her son, actor Marcus Strahl, a family proud of her legacy, and audiences forever moved by her work. Her passing is a great loss to the artistic community, but her warmth still echoes in the laughter she sparked and the songs she sang. Tributes to Waltraud Hos. What is the trending on the internet? News 1. 13-year-old girl remembered after tragic fall at Colorado Youth Center. The community of Pueblo, Colorado is mourning the heartbreaking loss of 13-year-old Joey Lynn Kenley Macdonald, who passed away on April 18th after an accidental fall during a youth event. The incident occurred at the Rocky Mountain SR, or MSR, after-school program, when Joey Lynn fell approximately 25 feet through an attic space in the building. Emergency crews responded swiftly to the scene, but despite their best efforts, Joey Lynn was pronounced dead upon arrival. Authorities have confirmed an investigation is underway to determine the circumstances surrounding the accident. Joey Lynn's family, including her 5 siblings, is being embraced by the community during this difficult time. Her aunt, Caitlin Valdez, described the young teen as a light in the dark, adding that her joyful presence touched everyone around her. A fundraiser has been launched to support the family, which has already seen an outpouring of love and contributions. Remser released a heartfelt statement expressing deep sorrow and extending thoughts and prayers to the family. Officials are cooperating fully with investigators and are reviewing safety procedures to prevent similar tragedies. While the loss is deeply felt, the community's compassion and unity in honoring Joey Lynn's life serve as a beacon of hope. Local leaders and educators are also emphasizing the importance of child safety and continued support for after-school programs that nurture young lives. Joy Lynn's memory lives on in the hearts of many as a reminder of joy, kindness, and the strength of community love. News 2. Former child star Sophie Nyite was pregnant at time of death. Investigation ongoing. The tragic passing of actress Sophie Nyite continues to capture hearts and raise questions, as her death certificate confirms she was in the early stages of pregnancy at the time of her unexpected death. Nyite, 24, was found in a wooded area near Bennington, Vermont, on April 14, 2025. Best known for her roles in Mammoth and Noah, Nyite was remembered by family as a creative, thoughtful soul who found joy in the arts. Her obituary noted she was happiest on a movie set and used writing and art to express deep emotional pain. Police are investigating the case as a possible unintentional overdose, but have not ruled out foul play. According to officials, she was with others at the time of her death, and a man who made the 911 call is cooperating with authorities. An autopsy is underway with results expected in several weeks. Nyite's mother, Shelley, addressed speculation about her daughter's time in Hollywood, emphasizing she was always safe on those sets. Shelley also shared that Sophie struggled with trauma and self-medicated rather than seeking treatment. In a poignant message, the family hopes Sophie's story inspires compassion and awareness, especially around mental health and substance use. Donations in her memory can be made to organizations supporting survivors of trauma. As the investigation continues, loved ones ask for privacy and understanding, while they mourn a life full of promise and artistic brilliance. News 3. 3 Massachusetts high school seniors killed in Florida. Spring break crash, community mourns. Profound loss. A devastating car crash on April 21st in Walton County, Florida, claimed the lives of 3 high school seniors from Massachusetts and left a 4th student critically injured. The tragedy occurred as the students, all from Concord Carlisle High School, were enjoying spring break. Jimmy McIntosh and Hannah Wasserman were pronounced dead at the scene. Maisie O'Donnell, a decorated state diving champion, later succumbed to her injuries at Bay Medical Center. A 4th student, whose name has not been released, remains hospitalized in critical condition. The crash happened around 9:30 p.m. when the SUV the teens were riding in crossed the median on U.S. Highway 98 and collided with a tractor-trailer. Authorities are continuing to investigate the cause of the accident. Concord Carlisle School District Superintendent Dr. Lori Hunter expressed deep sorrow, stating, "We are all devastated beyond what we can understand today. I know that the difficult days ahead will be ones we face together." Support has poured in from across the community. Grief counselors are being made available for students, and GoFundMe pages have been established to assist the affected families. The school community and loved ones continue to honor the lives lost, remembering Hannah for her compassion, Jimmy for his leadership, and Maisie for her excellence in and out of the pool. As the investigation continues, the Concord Carlisle community stands united in mourning, offering strength and support in this time of unimaginable grief. News 4. Leaprog founder Mike Wood remembered for transforming childhood learning. Mike Wood, the visionary behind Leaprog Enterprises, passed away on April 10, 2025 at the age of 72. Diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease, Wood chose to conclude his life journey in Zurich, Switzerland, surrounded by family. Wood's passion for education was ignited when he sought innovative ways to help his young son learn to read. This led to the creation of Leapfrog in 1995, introducing interactive learning tools like the LeapPad in 1999. These devices revolutionized early childhood education, making learning engaging and accessible for millions of children worldwide. After stepping down from Leapfrog in 2004, Wood continued his dedication to education by founding SmartyAnts, an online literacy program. He also volunteered as a reading teacher, sharing his love for learning with students in his community. Leapfrog honored Wood's legacy, stating, "He was an innovative leader whose passion to find a new way to help his child learn led to something remarkable. His passion was transformed into a company that has helped millions of children learn to read, and so much more." Wood is survived by his son, 3 grandchildren, 2 brothers, and his ex-wife. His contributions continue to inspire educators and learners worldwide, reflecting a life dedicated to empowering others through education. News 5. Influencer Dominique McShane leaves. Lasting legacy after brave health journey. Dominique McShane, a 21-year-old social media influencer, has passed away nearly a year after being diagnosed with incurable colorectal cancer in April 2024. The diagnosis forced her to halt her psychology studies and part-time HR job. She began sharing her journey on TikTok and Instagram, where she gained over 200,000 followers, aiming to raise awareness about young-onset colon cancer and leave a meaningful legacy. McShane candidly documented her experience with aggressive treatments and the emotional toll of a terminal prognosis. In early April 2025, she revealed that her liver was failing, and she had entered hospice care with only days to weeks left to live. Despite her condition, she conveyed gratitude for her life and relationships, expressing hope for peace after death. In July 2024, she married her partner Sean Susan, following an engagement on her 21st birthday. McShane shared that marriage was one of the few milestones she could still reach after learning she wouldn't be able to have children or grow old. Her story touched many as she sought to raise awareness and provide support to others facing similar health challenges. Dominique's legacy continues through the awareness she brought to young-onset colon cancer and the inspiration she provided to countless individuals facing health challenges. Number 1. Her grace lit up the stage even before she spoke a single word. Johanna Matz, whose elegance and warmth left a lasting mark on Austrian theater and film, has passed away at the age of 92. She died peacefully, surrounded by loved ones. Early in life, Johanna trained as a ballet dancer, laying the foundation for a remarkable career filled with movement, poise, and heart. Her transition to acting was seamless, and soon, she became a beloved figure in Austrian cinema, remembered especially for her roles as the charming Wiener Mädel of the 1950s. Her film debut in the early 50s caught the attention of international directors. Notably, Otto Preminger invited her to be part of the German version of The Moon is Blue, showcasing her growing influence beyond Austria. Yet despite the allure of film, her heart remained on stage. For over 4 decades, Johanna Matz shined at Vienna's prestigious Burgtheater. Her performances there were praised for their depth and authenticity. In 1967, she was honored with the title of Kammerschauspielerin, a defining moment that recognized her immense contribution to the arts. Later, she received the Austrian Cross of Honor for Science and Art, First Class, one of the nation's highest recognitions. Beyond her awards and accolades, those who worked with Johanna remember her for her humility, professionalism, and kindness. Audiences loved her for the quiet strength she brought to every role, whether on stage or on screen. Though no official tributes have yet been released by her colleagues, the outpouring of love and shared memories from fans say it all. Her legacy lives on in every curtain call she earned, every film scene she graced, and every young performer she inspired. She leaves behind a rich body of work and a cultural legacy that helped shape post-war Austrian theater and cinema. Johanna Matz was a true artist whose influence will echo for generations. Tributes to Johanna Matz. There was just something about Will. When he walked into a room, the place lit up. A former co-star once said,